What was the cringiest thing you did in your first relationship? I almost completely erased this memory. So I was young and I had my first boyfriend. We were experimenting sexually and I really wanted him to think I tasted nice, so I would literally rub strawberry-flavored lip gloss in my vagina. There's no way he didn't know. I thought it was such genius idea that I had to share it with my fellow women, so I wrote it down and passed a note in class to one of my friends. It dropped on the floor and all the boys read it and screamed laughing. Strawberry Lips was my new name and I cried for a week. This was with a girl I dated in high school. My dad was getting drunk at a block party, so I got the idea to take his ski boat and go for a romantic boat ride. So we park in the middle of the lake, start making out and stuff. We notice our feet getting wet. The boat was sinking, so I start freaking out, bailing water out with cups, sopping it up with my shirt and wringing it out of the boat, just panicking. Right after I accept the fate of my dad's $12,000 inboard motor ski boat and calm down, I remember that I didn't put back the drain plug before dropping it in the water, so I replaced it, drove back. TLDR, tried to be cool / get laid with a boat ride, almost sank it. Started dating 3 months before sophomore year ended. Once summer started I completely ghosted her. Skipped to first week of junior year, I thought we were still together. You can imagine how she reacted when I approached her for a kiss. The shame is still real to this day. Told my first real GF that I'm glad she wasn't the most beautiful girl in the world, so I didn't have to worry about every guy trying to steal her. Speech 100. The letters I've wrote. Oh, those letters. 15-year-old me thought he was deep and romantic. He wasn't. I hope they don't exist anymore. In the 4th grade I wrote anonymous love letters to a boy I liked and left them in his desk. I saw that he threw them away, so I started writing my name on them. He still threw them in the trash. Broke up with her because my best friends told me to. We were perfectly fine together, but I guess I kinda worshipped the guy and his advice. He later tried asking her out when we split. We were all 14-15. What an a-hole. Ugh. I had honestly forgotten this until I read this question. First date to a movie. We see Titanic. Because that can only end well. We, as horny youngsters, aren't watching the movie, but instead making out and moaning in probably the 3rd row of a packed theater. I'd never made out before. I assumed moaning was involved. Ugh, so cringy and gross. I licked her face to be random. God, that hurt to reimagine. Please don't mention hybridized eating utensils. Slowly raises spoke. Hey, what did I say? He took me to Olive Garden and bought me that meat lovers lasagna. I'm pretty damn sure that's what it was, is called, and when we got back to his place I wanted to show him how appreciative I was, so I gave him my first blowjob. Turned out I was not ready for that job and threw up the entire lasagna on his penis. God help me, I can't believe I'm finally sharing this story. That is horrible, but I'm sure there is a meat lovers joke in there somewhere. After I saw Eric propose to Donna on that '70s show, I went out and got a 25-cent ring from the local Pizza Hut and proposed. At school. In front of everyone. I was 16. Edit. I'm glad you all could share a cringe with me. To answer the burning question, she did say yes. We didn't last. Sorry, no happy ending here, just teenagers doing impulsive things. Pizza Hut sells jewelry? Onion rings. I was 17. We had just had a fight. I drove to his house and blasted Scars by Papa Roach from my car and just stood awkwardly at the end of the driveway waiting for him to come out. I really wish this weren't true. Edit, added context. But did he ever come out? He did. But only to tell me I'm overreacting and he'll see me at school on Monday. BRB gonna go curl under the blankets to hide from the memories. We were in 7th grade and had been dating for maybe 2 weeks. I printed a marriage certificate and showed it to her the first time she came over to my house. She called her mom and asked to go home immediately. This reminds me of when my first girlfriend gave me divorce papers when we broke up. I hit my girlfriend with my car. It was a complete accident. We are still friends and it is a story that still comes up in conversation every now and then. Please start using the line "yeah, I hit that." After the first date of going to the movies, I never put my arm around her because I was too scared. We sat in my driveway, and she didn't say goodnight because she was waiting for me to kiss her. I did nothing, so she finally kissed me. In defense mode, I lick my lips all the way around with my tongue like Scooby-Doo does with the cotton candy in the theme song intro. I even did the re-hee-hee-hee. Kill me. Edit. Cleaned up grammar so that you all would not be able to deduce that we were brother-sister, JK. Yes, this really happened. I was a freshman in high school and she was a junior. I was not ready for this. Kind of creepy on her part, looking back. Thanks for the kind words I woke up to. I'm glad you all like my story. Had to save this comment LMFAO. I got us matching dog tags with our anniversary on it after dating for around 6 months and would secretly get very sad when he wouldn't wear his. Guilty of this too. After we broke up, he posted a video on Facebook of his friend throwing it in the air so he could shoot it with a gun. LMFAO. I cried a little. Was 17. Edit. I grew up in Mississippi. Super American, country. I was upset when it happened and I didn't even respond to him. Should have saved the video to make a meme, but I don't have a Facebook anymore and it was a long time ago. It was pretty funny looking back. Thanks for all the comments and likes, lol. So sorry you had to watch that video. LOL, Ed, pretty hard. I was super shy back in the day and I really liked this guy who had weirdly flirted with me in one of our classes. He told me I looked like some random celebrity when I wore my hair down and how hot she was. So I never wore my hair up again for the entirety of school. I replied later by slipping a note in his locker but didn't sign it. A few days after that, I threw in a t-shirt I thought he would like. He didn't know who it was from until weeks later when he finally wore it to school to see if anyone said something. My BFF at the time did and he realized it was me. Super creepy on my end. We ended up dating for a day before we broke up because we were stupid kids. Now, 15 years later, we reconnected and are now married. So, totally worked as planned. Mwah, totally did not see that coming. I love this. Let my mom purchase custom matching airbrushed shirts of two people kissing, with my girlfriend and my name on them. I'd report my mom for child abuse if she suggested that. Mom probably was laughing about it with her girlfriend during wine night. I was so nervous on the way home. Being 14, his dad drove us to my house to drop me off. I leaned over to kiss him on the cheek. A quick peck and then I threw up his mom's fajitas all over myself. Was walking her home in our neighborhood. She says her parents aren't home. I say cool, you have the whole house to yourself. And walked back home, wondering if I'd ever get a chance to touch her boobs. Edit. Wow, this got a lot more attention than I thought it would. To answer the big question, yes, I did. Eventually. Then we did more and were pretty bad at it. Then she faked a stalker in order to try to drive a wedge between me and my best friend, so I stopped seeing her. Up and down experiences all around, but hey, I got to do stuff to her for a while, once I caught on, haha. We had been texting back and forth so I knew going to his house I would lose my virginity. Dude opens the door wearing a full suit for the occasion and escorts me holding my hand into his bedroom. Edit. Thanks for the fun comments. I have been very entertained reading them. To give some context, it wasn't his first time. We had been dating for around 2 months. I was determined and did go through with the deed. And what happened after was way worse than the suit. Dude had apparently told the entire neighborhood he was getting laid, and 3-4 of his friends broke into the house through the terrace in the middle of the deed. I promise I'm not making this up. After the whole episode was over, he left to the friend's party without inviting me. So, he wasn't really a gentleman after all, as the suit had suggested. A couple days later we broke up. At the time I felt horrible, but now it makes for the juiciest story. First real girlfriend in high school, we used to talk over the voice calls on MSN Messenger late at night. She wanted to just hear my voice, and I very quickly ran out of things to say, so she said I should just read whatever book I had around. She spent the next 30 minutes listening to my Your New Gateway Computer and How to Use It booklet. I wrote the girl a poem. It included the phrase, slightly too large nose, and also used the word Kmart. Edit. Since there's been a little response to this, I tried to think back on how the poem went. It was something like this: with your slightly too large nose and your great big heart, a love like this can't be found at Kmart. Ugh. True love exists. We planned, to the minute, when our first kiss would be. Not too bad, right? We were both nervous and it was both of our first relationships. I made a website with a countdown clock. My first girlfriend told me that she would break up with me if I didn't tell her that I would break up with her if she didn't kiss me. So she wanted me to blackmail her into kissing me by having me threaten to break up. I wasn't going to break up with her if she didn't kiss me, so I refused to say that I would. So she broke up with me. She was playing some hardcore mind games. Thank you and subscribe.